interrupt you. I'll come back to you. Now, let me go across, viewers, to Rumi Mishra, who's going to be explaining the possible scenarios for the TVK floor test. Over to you.
Yes, Vaishali, right in front of my screen, I have the three scenarios that are possible in front of Vijay. These are the three Vijay floor test scenarios. Scenario one is if AIADMK remains intact. The halfway mark in this case remains at 118 out of 234. If the TVK gets um, appreciation from Congress, IUML, VCK, CPI, CPIM, and AMMK, the parties that it has already allied with, it stands at 121. Remember Vaishali, TVK's Vijay won 2 seats both in Trichy East and Perambur, following which he actually conceded his Trichy East seat and took oath from the Perambur Assembly constituency as an MLA. This is why TVK currently stands at 107. It did fall short of a majority and formed a coalition from the Indian National Congress, which won 5 seats, the CPI, which won 2 seats, CPIM, which won 2 seats as well, IUML with 2 seats, VCK with 2 seats, and AMMK with 1. The opposition in this case is DMK Plus, which is at 60 seats, AIADMK, which is at 47 seats, BJP, which has refused to side with any of the parties, stands at 1. PMK again at 4. So the total in opposition here stands at 112. In the next scenario, let's take a look what happens if 30 AIADMK rebel MLAs resign from the party just to side with TVK. In this case, the halfway mark remains the same, 118. Total Vijay, total C, so total agreements with the TVK stand at 121, with the already read out marks that currently stand the same. TVK at 107, Congress at 5, IUML at 2, VCK at 2, CPI and CPIM both getting 2 seats each, and AMMK at 1. But on the other hand, opposition is where the focus stands. DMK Plus will continue to stay at 60 seats, but the AIDMK shows 17. This, of course, excludes the 30 rebel MLAs from the AIDMK, led by Shanmugam, CV Shanmugam, who has, of course, expressed his intent to side with and support the TVK. So in this case, only EPS's side of the AIDMK will stay together, which forms 17 MLAs, the BJP again at 1 and the PMK at 4. The total in this case is at 82 of the opposition. Let's look at the precedent to this scenario too. In 2019, Yediyurappa floor test is where it had already happened. 17 MLAs resigned in 2019, 14 from Congress and 3 from JDS. The new halfway mark in this case came at 105 out of 208, as the halfway mark was chopped down since these MLAs who resigned were removed from the list. BJP and IND at that point stood at 105, and Congress and JDS came at 99, which meant BJP was, of course, in the lead. Let's look at scenario 3. What happens if two-thirds MLAs from AIDMK split from the party and join the TVK? In this case, their votes are included towards the TVK. So the TVK will continue to stand at 107. Congress will have 5. IUML, VCK, CPI, CPIM will all have 2 seats each. AMMK will have 1. But the two-third majority of AIDMK, with 32 members of the assembly, will move towards the TVK and support the TVK. They are, of course, being led by Shanmugam. In this case, the total for Vijay stands at 153. The opposition in this case is now reduced to 80, as AIDMK loses 32 MLAs from its party. The precedent of scenario 3 is, of course, when 40 Shiv Sena MLAs joined Eknath Shinde. This is a picture from that exact moment. You see the MLAs standing behind Shinde as well. Shinde government won the floor test with 166 MLAs in this case. So if this happens with Vijay as well, he is all set to win the floor test, including the AIADMK rebels who have left the party, who, in case they leave the party, will be joining with the TVK. Yes, Vaishali.
All right, viewers, so this is, of course, all of these developments that we're sharing with you at this point. Let me just apprise you of the current situation. We're, of course, talking about the floor test and the scenarios. I have Mr. Pradeep Bhandari, BJP spokesperson, joining me. Mr. Bhandari, a lot of developments there when it comes to Vijay's floor test. How do you see the scenarios unfolding?
Well, we should know, and even in fact every party should know that the Congress party is a backstabber party. And the Congress party backstabbed the DMK, with which it was in alliance for a significant amount of time. So, as of right now, when the floor test is on, one thing is for clear, that the Congress party can never be trusted, whether it is in present or in future, by any of the partners that the Congress party aligns with.
Mr. Bhandari, let's just stick to what's actually happening. I want to understand from you that, how crucial do you think is today's floor test for the political future of Vijay and his government?
Well, with respect to the political future, we saw how yesterday Udayanidhi Stalin said he wants to eradicate Sanatan. So today, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Vijay, should set an example that once the assembly is in session, he should stand up and openly comment and criticize the DMK's on Udayanidhi Stalin for such a remark.
All right, Mr. Bhandari, I also want to understand from you that, if Vijay survives the floor test, does that automatically stabilize the government, or will uncertainty continue? And conversely, if the government loses a trust vote, what are the immediate constitutional and political options?
Well, it is a matter of conjecture what happens next. But one thing is for sure, is that with Congress in any alliance, nothing is certain, and that alliance can never be a stable alliance. Because once the Congress backstabbed and completely ended its alliance with the DMK without even informing it, so whether the Congress party, even if the floor test passes, the Chief Minister should know that the same thing what happened with Stalin can tomorrow happen with Vijay. And another thing which is very, very important is that the current Chief Minister has made an astrologer his advisor, which is setting a very, very bad example for the youth of Tamil Nadu, where rather than promoting scientific temper, they are promoting something else.
Right, Mr. Bhandari, thank you for joining me on the broadcast. And one of our guests that I was talking to, Mr. Narayana, and you smiling at that, at what Mr. Bhandari said, because in the South, it is tradition that everything, as we were discussing earlier, is done as per what the astrologers say. So that is a tradition that's been continuing for many years. But let me just come back to you,